Listen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about this. I accidentally selected that lightning effect in After Effects and then just kind of couldn't turn back. But I'm not proud of what I've done. I'm sorry. Hey, my name is Seth Meshko. I'm a digital artist, and this is a little presentation for rigging script that I wrote. The script is called JFM Dupe Rig Parent Constraint.py. It's a Python script for Maya. You can find it along with other scripts on my GitHub page. There will be some notes about that in the description. You can also find out more information about me and get a hold of me at 3danimationartist.com. Please feel free to reach out and provide feedback or get help on the scripts or on whatever. Yeah, just get a hold of me and let me know how you're using this. So this script is part of a larger scripting package that I have been working on for rigging 3D characters in Maya. This happens to be going out to Unity for, a game pipeline, but it doesn't necessarily have to be used that way. This script is really useful as a standalone. It's basically the first step in any rigging process, at least any of my rigging processes. And what it does is it automates the process of duplicating a skinned skeleton, renames all of the duplicated joints, and then it sets up constraints that drive the original skinned skeleton from, the rig that you place on the target skeleton, on the duplicated skeleton, okay? All of the constraint weights are going to be controlled with a single attribute on the root of the skinned skeleton, so they can all be turned off with a single setting. That's really convenient. I'll go into why you want that to happen later. The upshot is that this would take hours to do manually, and believe me, I've done it, and it's the worst. That's why I wrote this script to automate this process. So hopefully you'll get some use out of it too. So why, though? Why would you do this? Well, there's a lot of reasons, but they all revolve around the basic idea that you want your skinned skeleton to be clean, okay? You don't want to have a bunch of extra joints in it. You don't want to have any nodes controlling it directly. You don't want to have any expressions controlling it directly. The constraint setup is really clean because you can just delete that target skeleton, and then all of the connections that were driving that skinned skeleton are instantly gone, okay? Maya will automatically clean them up, and there's nothing to deal with anymore. The skinned skeleton would then be ready for, export. Whereas if you rig the skin skeleton directly, man, it'd have all sorts of extra junk in it that you just really don't need. And certainly nobody wants to mess with down the pipeline, right? So the way that I'm going to use it, I'm going to bake out all the animations to the skin skeleton before I delete the target skeleton, and then what I'll have is just a clean skin skeleton with the animation curves on it, and that's ready for export as an FBX to Unity or whatever game engine. So there's other advantages to doing this too. It's also really helpful, to iterate on your character, right? So you've got your model, like me, it's coming together pretty well. I'm just testing it for, proper skin deformations and, trying to see, how I can optimize it and maybe add or subtract some geometry and stuff. It's really handy to be able to just throw that skin into some animation, but then quickly be able to just tweak it and then throw it right back into that animation. Well, this relieves a lot of the setup process because you can just simply, turn off the constraints, go ahead, tweak the model, and skin it and throw it back into the animation by just turning on those constraints again. So it allows for a much more rapid iteration and a better process for testing out your model and stuff. Okay, so there we go. That's all of the how and the why behind it. But like, let's go ahead and look at how to use it. So I've got this script just saved up to my shelf up here. I'm going to just go ahead and open it up. It's just going to open up this GUI. It's super easy to use this thing. All you have to do is select the root of the skeleton that you want to duplicate. I'll just go ahead and show it. Might as well, right? Oh, I should mention. So, like at this point, this skeleton is, this skin is skinned. It's the model is skinned to the skeleton, but there is not. This is the default skin, and it's actually looking pretty good, which is good on me because that's some decent topology that just ends up skinning really well with default settings. So yeah, just gonna toot my own horn there for a second. Anyway, it's skinned, but I'm going to go in and I'm going to paint a bunch of skin weights and make it look better. What I'd like to do is get a rig going on it so that I can get some complex poses going really quickly and find out where the flaws in my rig are, right? Okay, so that's kind of part of this process. I'm going to select that root, select it, load it. Okay, here's some optional stuff you can select for a certain prefix and replace it. This is already doing what I wanted to do, so I'm not going to change that, but if you needed to do that, you can. I'm going to have keep shapes on, and what is going on there is that, so here's some shapes that are in here. That's just geometry that are in there. Those are shapes here. This eye is just a shape. It's not skinned. It's parented directly into the skinned skeleton. So I want to actually preserve those into my duplication, because once I've got that duplicate, I'm just going to basically turn this off. I don't want to see it anymore. I'm going to work with my target skeleton, but then I'm still going to want to see the shapes, right? So that I know, where her eye is pointed, stuff like that. Okay, so go ahead and hit that duplicate. It's going to go through. It's going to knock out that whole process. Now what we've got is a independent target rig. Okay, so we can tweak this and stuff. I should mention this. So it looks as though these don't have shader assignments. They do. That's just a bug in Maya. So you don't have to go digging through your Hypershade or anything to like fix that. If you were to just close this scene down and open it back up, you would see that those connections get resolved. It's just a viewport issue, so don't sweat that. Okay. Now, here we go. I can kind of do some animations or whatever. Obviously going to set up a whole rig on top of this target skeleton, but the idea is that I can do all these animations, and then let's say I'm unhappy with something on the surface, I can just go up to my skin rig, I can turn off the constraints, unskin it, do my tweaks to the surface, bind it back up, and then turn this back on, and then like I'm right back into the animation and testing phase. I don't have to start from square one and set up the whole situation again. And then of course the other thing is, once I'm ready to export this out, it's just a matter of just deleting this and whatever resulting rig I have contributing to that function, and then that's a clean skeleton that's ready to go. Okay, so that's it. That's all there is to this. Like I said, my name is Seth Meshko. I'm a 3D artist, digital artist. Get a hold of me on my website or social media or whatever, and looking forward to seeing how you use this. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.